Hey everyone, Tsetzuko here, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about onions. Just to show that produce is drastically influencing my life right now. Now, I titled this video Letting Go of the Dream, and while it might sound kind of doom and gloom, I actually think it's a positive thing. And in this video, I want to inform you of some decisions that I've made and provide some insight into the factors that have influenced those decisions. Changes are on the way, again, but they're going to be lasting ones this time. So that's kind of enough of the being cryptic. So I just want to start by saying two very important things. Number one, I'm not quitting YouTube. And number two, I'm not turning this channel into something that's not related to World of Warcraft. I know those have kind of been things in the past, not the quitting YouTube, but I wanted to get those out of the way and let you know up front that's not what is happening here. That's not what this decision is. What I am doing is I'm removing myself from the pursuit of being a YouTuber and taking a step back and scaling back as well. And I wanted to talk to you about what that means and why I made this decision. So the first thing to do is explain, make sure we're on the same page. When I say YouTuber, what do I mean? And I consider a YouTuber to be someone who makes content for YouTube as their means of income, like in place of a different job. So when you or I are out there spending 30, 40, 50 plus hours, at a regular old job, they're spending that time making video content, researching video topics, managing social media, all that kind of stuff that lets them continue to make YouTube videos for a living. And since a couple months into my channel's growth, I've been pursuing the dream of becoming a YouTuber. I felt like it was something I could probably or possibly do, and so I wanted to give it a shot. And I've got a very fake it until you make it, dress for the job you want, not the job you have sort of mentality. And so that resulted in me trying to do stuff like make regularly scheduled content and streams, build a community, set up a Patreon, invest my time and energy into this channel as if I was an actual YouTuber, hoping to sort of act my way into becoming one for real. To a degree, this has kind of been successful, and I've seen more progress with this channel than any other video content making endeavor that I've tried before. But I seem to have plateaued pretty hard for a number of reasons, which I won't get into in this video, but you're welcome to ask me about them if you want to know. And worse, seem to have gone into a downward spiral both here on the channel and personally. For several months now, channel stats have been a mixed bag of both positive and negative outcomes. And to a degree, some of that, is on me, obviously, but there's also some stuff that YouTube has been doing with my channel. I'm sure you've heard it from other content creators before of YouTube just not putting their stuff in search results and, all that. I don't want to get into that here, but some of that is happening on my channel 100%. YouTube, for whatever reason, has decided not to promote my channel as much, even though I have been regularly making content and stuff. So it's been a mixed bag of positive and negative stuff, but also my motivation has been a mixed bag as well, especially when it comes to creating the kind of content that I think would help elevate me into that YouTuber status. Over the past month or so, actually all the channel stats and stuff have turned completely negative, and my motivation has kind of dropped off a cliff. Now, my motivation isn't tied to those stats, but it is. And I guess in the sense of trying to become a YouTuber, yes, my motivation is tied to those stats. Those stats need to go up in order to make that dream happen. But just in terms of content creation, it doesn't really matter to me whether I have 8,000 views and, 2,000 likes or any of that kind of stuff. That's not what's important in the content creation part. But like I said, overall, the channel stats have been negative, and my motivation for making those types of video has just dropped off a cliff. But, and there's a huge eggy-sized one in the room, a lot of other stuff has been positive. I kind of wanted to try and talk about this from the perspective of considering it as an onion. And I know that's weird, but I said we were going to talk about onions. I currently work in the produce department at a grocery store, and so I deal with onions all the time. I don't know, but we're gonna talk about it. And as the great sage Shrek once said in his titular movie, onions have layers, right? He said some other stuff about ogres, but that's not really applicable here. Onions have layers, right? And all that negative stuff that I just talked about is kind of like the outside layer of the onion. You know, it's starting to dry out and it's getting dirty and people have been picking it up and, you know, it might have some scratch marks in it or, you know, whatever. It just really isn't appealing anymore. But if you peel off that outside layer, there's still like a good core of onion underneath, right? And for me, like that good core is this stuff. I genuinely enjoy this expansion. I like what I've played of Torghast. I've liked playing with community members in dungeons and while questing, the guild members. I've liked doing that when I've had the opportunity to. I've been diving deeper into add-ons than I probably ever have outside of my, you know, expansion, my regular expansion UI overhauls that I do. And I'm pretty interested in the patches that are coming up for this expansion as well. But all that kind of like good, positive stuff about World of Warcraft is encased in this awful, terrible outside layer of YouTuberness, which is definitely a real word. And it just taints everything that I try to do and the fun that I could be having. So I'm peeling that layer off, that outer layer, and I'm throwing it away. And I'm letting go of this dream of being or becoming a YouTuber. And throwing away that layer means that some of the onion is lost, and as a result, the onion is smaller. And in the same way, peeling off that layer and letting go of this YouTuber dream also means that some of the content that I make here on the channel is also going to be lost, and my goals and expectations are probably going to be smaller. So I'm done with the onion thing now. We're just going to real talk from here on and just get to the point. So I'm going to stop doing all the stuff that I think I should do or need to do to grow the channel and become a successful YouTuber. I'm going to stop making videos for the sake of views, engagement, watch time, or whatever other stat YouTube cares about in any given moment. And I'm going to drop or scale back a lot of the periphery things that I've been doing as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore the YouTube dashboard, and I'm just going to make the nerdy, niche-y videos that I actually want to make, stats be damned. And I'm going to make those videos on my own timeline, and like the blizzard that we all enjoy, I'm going to publish content when it's ready, not once a week, regardless of the quality of the video or the amount of enthusiasm for the subject matter that I have. So I wanted to break it down a little bit here and kind of set some expectations. So here's what I've been doing recently that I don't plan on doing going forward. I don't plan on doing weekly live streams. I don't plan on doing weekly news updates. And I don't plan on guaranteeing that there's going to be a super high quality guide every 2 weeks. That's the kind of stuff that a YouTuber does. That's the kind of stuff that someone who can spend their 30, 40, 50 hours a week on YouTube instead of an actual job has the time to do. I don't have the time to do those. Like, I do it, but it consumes all the hours that I have outside of sleeping and work and commuting. And it's too much. It's too much. There's also content that I'm not likely to make any videos about moving forward, and that includes PvP, because I don't PvP, Mythic Plus, because I don't care about it, raids, same thing, how to grind, X thing 100 times at max level. That's probably not a video that I'm going to put out. And I'm probably not going to put out any of the super in-depth class guides like the tanking guides I've done before, but there's another big but here. The reason for that is because the content in the videos I've already done is still applicable in Shadowlands, like 90% of it. So making an updated version of those guides is just rehashing stuff that I've already done before. If the next expansion comes around and Blizzard actually makes significant changes to classes and to tanks and stuff, then I'll want to make new videos, but I don't want to make them now because it's literally just repeating the stuff that I've already made. And I may do like an update video or something and say, hey, if, before you watch this guide, check the update video, or after you watch the guide, check the update video. But there's no reason for me to make another 50-minute Paladin tanking video when 90% of the stuff that's relevant to Paladin is covered in the first video that I made. So there's a big difference there. It's not like I don't want to make those. It doesn't make sense to make those because it's a waste of time and effort, essentially. So there are a bunch of topics that I am really likely to make videos about moving forward. And those would be things like weak auras, OPI, other WoW add-ons, managing your alt characters, how to, level up multiple alts and all that kind of good stuff, open world content, Torghast, talent builds for all the stuff I just mentioned, updated intro videos for specializations, or talent builds showcases for gameplay. And also, I'm still going to do live streams, just not necessarily regularly scheduled ones, or if they are regularly scheduled, then they probably won't be every week. It might be once a month, but for much longer than, I would do one of like the regular weekly streams. So it's not that the content that I'm creating is going to go away. It's just I'm shifting my approach and my perspective to the channel to line up in a way that just lets me make the content that I want to make without worrying about the stats, without worrying about trying to become a YouTuber, without worrying about, whether my OPI video for Demon Hunter is going to get 3,000 views or 30 views. Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's just a video that I wanted to make. And I think this is going to do a few things. One, it's going to give me back a lot of my time, which is super important. Like I said, if I felt like I was on my way still to becoming a YouTuber and being able to do this as my job, that would be a totally different story because I would have 30, 40, 50 hours a week that I could dedicate towards this channel and content. And if I had that time, I guarantee you this channel would look a lot different than it currently does. And there's a lot that I could do with that. But the reality is I don't have that. I have my free time after I go work 40 hours a week at my normal job and, do house chores, try to make time for myself, my wife, my pets, my friends, and the stuff that I have to do there. I'm trying to cram 30, 40, 50 hours of being a YouTuber into, 20, 25 hours a week. And it's making me miserable. And it's not enough to get me to that YouTuber status. And it's too much to be a healthy hobby. And so what I'm trying to do is bring it in line with it being a healthy hobby. Now, I want to say a couple of things. I have a second channel, as you guys know, Pixel Pathfinder, and that is a channel where I'm just doing whatever I want. And the stats don't matter. Whose line is it anyway? Whose YouTube is it anyway? Where the videos get made and the points don't matter. That's essentially what I'm doing over there. And I am having a blast. I am having so much fun making content for that channel because I can make a huge, epic, high-quality video and just put it out when it's ready and take the time that I need to make that video. Or I could jump on the computer, play a game for 30, 40 minutes, and put up a Let's Play episode and just be like, boom, there we go. There's some content. I got a reaction video coming up for this channel pretty soon, or it might already be out. I'm just kind of doing whatever I want to over there, and it's a ton of fun. And as a result, I make more videos. I made like 4 or 5 videos for that channel in one day, and it was fun. It didn't feel like a job. It definitely, there's work that goes into it, but I wasn't miserable and demotivated. So the other thing that I think this shift will do is it'll take that weight off my shoulders. It'll take that, going back to the onion, that crappy outer layer off. It'll take the weight of that garbage off and free me up to just have fun making content. And while I won't guarantee it, I will say that it's much more likely for me to publish more videos as a result of this change instead of less videos. Just instead of making, this specialization guide X or spending 4 hours a week on a live stream, I'll be putting that time into these nerdy, nichey videos about WoW add-ons or Torghast or open world content or whatever the heck it might be. So I wanted to let you guys know that I'd made this decision. I'm sure you have a ton of questions. You're welcome to put those in the comment section below, and I will answer each and every one of them, provided you're courteous and on topic. And I want you guys to know, like I said, those two important things at the very beginning of this video. I'm not quitting YouTube. I'm still here. I'm still on Pixel Pathfinder, and I'm not turning this channel into something that's not WoW related. I do still plan on possibly doing Overwatch 2 content and Diablo 4 content whenever those games come out. I do still plan on possibly adding those games into this channel, but that's still a long ways off. So you guys let me know if you have any questions. I appreciate all your support so far, and I know those of you that actually watch this video and watch it all the way through are the people that are truly here because you like me as a content creator, and you have benefited from those more nerdy niche videos that I've made and not just the big generic YouTuber ones. So I hope you guys are excited because there should be a lot more of that content coming down the line. So I'm excited about this. I'm excited to open the door to creative freedom on this channel while still keeping it related to World of Warcraft. And I hope you guys are excited to see what I can do with that. Because I am. I'm excited to see what I might be able to do with that creative freedom. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. As always, I try to move forward with what I think is the right decision. And, this could be a huge and terrible mistake, or it could turn out that this is the road to me actually quitting the channel because I realize that even if I have freedom, I still don't like making the videos over here. Or I could desperately miss everything that I was doing and realize I made a huge mistake and go back to doing it. I don't know. I just know that this is the decision that I think is the most true to myself and how I feel and what I think my channel should be. And for those reasons and all the reasons we talked about in this video, I think it's the right decision to make, and I'm excited about it. So thank you for watching. I hope you'll continue on with me. And as always, I'll see you on the next video.